Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about why it's so important to have a budget. Before we can get into financial freedom, I really do need to start from the beginning. I feel like I've given you a lot of topics that I've been covering, but these topics are going to give you only bits and pieces. So I need to start with the basics so that you can truly understand why it's super important to have a budget. Don't mind the couch cushions in the back, that's my outdoor furniture. Now, why it's so important to have a budget? Well, the majority of people, believe it or not, do not have a budget. A lot of people who get wealthy, a lot of people who are multimillionaires, they budget their wealth. They didn't get rich by just simply spending all of their money and simply spending all of their resources. I do not just go out there willy nilly and spend money. But when I do spend money, I spend a great deal of it. But understand that each time I spend is super calculated. Like there's nothing that's not calculated. There's nothing that I go out and say, oh, it's an impulse decision. No. In fact, I would have such a surplus of funds that I'll say, okay, now it's time for me to buy so and so. Now it's time for me to do so and so. When I go on when I go on a vacation, it's planned months in advance. And so I am super prepared when that time comes. And then still I'm budgeting. It's not that I have to do these things. And in fact, sometimes it can make the vacation a little bit less relaxing when you're not doing the things that you've wanted to do based on a budget. But understand that that's perfectly fine. I'm still getting the relaxation. I'm still getting the time away from work. I'm still getting the time away from all other things that distract me. And I'm able to enjoy this time with people that I care about. But I'm going to do it while not crippling me financially or even setting me back financially. Because at this point, certain things won't cripple a person who's always been on their purpose, but it still may set them back. And then we have to recrawl back to where we were. No, my vacations don't cost me more than a month's pay. A month's pay. And when I say a month's pay, that might include what I make at the job plus maybe a little bit of passive income as well. But nothing too extravagant, you know. I might spend a few thousand here on a vacation. But again, all of those things are calculated, well planned out, and months in advance. So again, setting a budget is something that you only see the rich or those who will be rich do, as well as those who are on a fixed income, i.e., those on Social Security, those who are elderly and can no longer participate in debt because they understand that they cannot build more wealth. They are on a fixed budget and therefore they are now forced into budgeting, whereas before it was a choice and you just chose not to do it. And some chose to do it, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that there are those who are going to be forced to budget rather than choosing to do so. You want to be the person who chooses to do so rather than the person who is forced to do it. All right? So that's the first step. I was just talking to one of my friends, also used to be my coworker today, and they're talking about their savings plan, right? They have a savings plan, they have a budget for how much they're supposed to save. They told me, hey, I'm behind on my savings goal, but I'm going to catch back up. The fact that they know that they can catch back up, the fact that they know that they're behind, they're able to do something about it. They're not comfortable, they're not complacent. They have a goal that they must achieve that is obtainable, that they know they can get to. Because I sat down with this person, I looked at all their debt, all their income, every single thing that they had, and I told them, this is what you're able to do to get out of the situation you're in and into a better financial situation. It is simply up to that person at this point to implement it or not, right? We can always tell people what to do, and then You can't take credit for what they do, whether it's good or bad, because at the end of the day, it's still them who needs to take action. So when they take action, all the credit belongs to them, right? If you came to me, that's an action. If you watching this video, you're taking action. If you implement these uh, resources that I'm giving you through my knowledge, you're taking action. If you are motivated because of what I said, because you decided to click on this channel, you're taking action. And if you use that motivation correctly, then you're the reason why you're successful. It's not me. It's absolutely not me. I cannot take credit for anyone's success because you have to take action. I can't tell you how many people I've given the strategies, how many people I've given the blueprint who simply did not take action. And that is why I'm telling you, it is not just as simple as he said this, I did this, I'm successful. No, you have to implement it. And it is hard work. You have to fortify yourself and your mind mentally in order to achieve these things. And once you decide that you're going to do that, you are going to be the reason you're successful. So this is exactly why I say you need to plan, you need to save, you need to budget. Not only budget for what you're spending, but budget for how much you're going to put in your pocket. If you do this and you follow these things, you'll be in the right steps in order to get out of debt if you have any, invest if you haven't started already, and what you can start to invest in, right? So again, we're working on us. We're working on ourselves. We're working on taking action. We're working on a savings plan. The majority of people do not have that alone. I see people now doing stuffing the envelopes, which is, putting money in the envelope every single month for what they're going to spend or what they're going to save. Whatever the case may be, whatever works for you, whatever tools or resources you need in order to get the job done, that's what you have to do. Me personally, I make a budget at the beginning of every single year for what I want to accomplish, for what I want to achieve. If I get a pay raise, hey, that's fine. Of course, the interest is always going to go up on my accounts, which is going to help me gain more wealth, and I never really calculate for that. That's a little extra. That's a little more advanced. So I always make more money than what I planned for, and that's perfectly fine as long as I'm not losing more money than what I'm planning on losing by spending, right? If you're spending, you're losing. So essentially, you have to account for that as well, right? I mean, we spend tens of thousands a year, period, whether it's on rent, food, vacations, etc., etc. There's not one person that I know who spends probably less than 20,000 a year. But how much are you saving every single year? So this is the things that we have to take into account when we're doing our plans, when we're building our savings plan and our budgeting. All right. So if you like this video, this is the first step towards financial freedom, planning and budgeting. Make sure you click this link and like the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, whether it's on YouTube or Rumble. And you already know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.